Hi guys, Jim here again with another Sudoku video, and today we'll be tackling a killer Sudoku, which is one of the more popular variants of Sudoku, and I'm sure many of you have already played one yourself. I'll explain the rules for those who haven't when we jump into it. But first, a quick note to just talk about the Cracking the Cryptic guys. So they're the people who have put this puzzle out there for sale, so you can go and buy this yourself on Steam or on your phone. And they are a couple of puzzle solving experts who have a YouTube channel, link in the description, and they solve videos every day, and much better than me. And they've curated, collated, some C word, these puzzles together for the general enjoyment of the public, or in this case me. And so yeah, definitely if you enjoy solving puzzles, would really recommend that you check these out. They are tough, so they start hard and get very hard. They're all handcrafted, and they are very elegant. Their solves are very beautiful. If you're into that sort of thing, the logic kind of just flows through very nicely. And also, they have a series of handcrafted hints to help you through the puzzles as well, which is really useful. Right, so enough about that. Let's jump into today's puzzle. So as I say, we're playing a killer today, and if you've seen any of my previous videos, we have a beginner collection and a standard collection. I'm trying to work through both of them at the same time. So let's stick with the beginner for the time being. And we've got puzzle 62 is next on the list, which is by Bastien Vial-Jem. I mean, that's French, right? Bastien Vial-Jemy? I don't know. Apologies for my French accent. But Bastien, thank you very much for this puzzle. I'm excited to jump into it. It's 2-star difficulty, so hopefully not too bad. Right, so killer Sudoku. So it looks like a regular Sudoku grid, but where the hell are all the digits? Right, so the normal rules of Sudoku apply, which is to say in the boxes, the columns, and the rows, you need the digits 1 through 9 exactly once. But also there's an additional constraint where you have these cages with a little number in the top left, and the digits in that cage must sum to the digits in must sum to the total given to you in the top left of the cage. And that is it. So let's go. So for killer, a couple of things you should know. You're looking for really low totals or really high totals, because they are quite constrained in terms of what they can actually be. So if I look literally the very first clue in the grid, if you start top left, it's a 16 in 2 cells. I should say, it doesn't matter for this Sudoku, but digits cannot repeat in a cage. Now normally, if you've got digits in a cage like this, they wouldn't be able to repeat anyway because they're in the same box. But sometimes you get puzzles that have like a cage like that, and if that were the case, then those two cells in normal Sudoku rules could be the same, because they're not in the same box or column or row, but in killer they wouldn't be allowed to. And also you'll notice this peculiar cage here is completely pointless because it doesn't have a sum. So you don't know what they add up to, and it's in the same box. So sometimes you'll get a cage like this with no total given, but it's spilled into a couple of different boxes, which means you know that at least the digits can't repeat in that cage. Well, you know the digits can't repeat here anyway, so it is a completely useless box, completely useless cage. It is done for aesthetic purposes, because you can see in this puzzle, it looks very nice, doesn't it? Because we've got these 9 squares in the middle of each box are not part of any cage. So it looks very pretty, and you obviously don't need to know the sum here. Right, but anyway, so sorry, going back. So 16 in 2 cells in Sudoku can only be made of a 7 and a 9, because you can't repeat the 8s, and then anything else would be above a 10. Right? So in this case, I happen to know those were 7 and 9, so I'll just jot them down. If you've noticed, my voice has gone very croaky. I'm fighting some sort of chest infection. Picked it up on holiday, went to Turkey. Not that you'd be able to tell from my tan, my pasty face. Right, what else do we know? Not a lot, actually. So not a lot is given in terms of like high or low totals. So the other thing you need to know about killer, and this is going to be very relevant for this puzzle, is that the digits 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, if you sum all the digits in any box, row or column, it adds to 45, right? You just get a calculator out, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. That's just what it does. There's no logical trick, it's just maths. And so what you know is if you are able to determine, if you are able to determine the sum of a group of cells within a box, you know that any cells left over must be the difference to 45, right? So I don't know if I've explained that very well, but I know that all 9 of these digits add up to 45. I don't know the order of them at all, but I know that they're the digits 1 through 9, so they must add up to 45. And I also know that these 8 cells, because they're all contained exclusively in cages, I know that they add up to, in this case, 44, because this app is really handy. It just tells you. So these cells add up to 44. These cells add up to 45. So this must be the difference between the two, and therefore is a 1. And I have a wonderful feeling. Yeah, I have a wonderful feeling. This is a beaut. Look at the state of this puzzle, man. Look at that. This is gonna. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know what that one is. 6, 7. That's amazing. Isn't that lovely? Bastien, well done, mate. That's just 1, 2. Excuse me, that's not right. 3, 4. So I've accidentally put a 5 in there, and I know that it's correct, but that's I'm not gonna use that knowledge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Amazing. Yeah. So apart from this, which we now know isn't a 5 by accident. I'm sorry, I fucked it up. Excuse my language. Excuse my language. If that was a 5, how lovely would it be? But it could be. Who knows, right? We need to find out by logic. Okay, so what does this now tell us? What does this now tell us? Well, this 20 cage, this is still the most restricted box, right? So this 20 cage has a lot of possible sums, but now it can't contain a 1, a 7, or a 9. Well, it must contain an 8, mustn't it? Because where does 8 go in the rest of the box? Well, it must go here. Unfortunately, I think, yeah, there's not a lot else going. Excuse me. Yeah, I had a cough right in my earliest couple of videos. And it seems that it's come back. Right. This can't contain a 2. Okay, I'm going to have to do a lot of this, I feel. Maybe. Is this really the way? This doesn't feel like a very productive means of solving this puzzle. 14. So 14 is interesting. Ah, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So this is good. So 14 can only be made up of 2 options if it's in 2 cells. So it can either be a 5, 9 or a 6, 8 because it can't be 2 7s. And in this case, we know there's a 9 in the box, so this must indeed be a 6 and an 8. Okay, do we have anything else like that? Well, where does the 2 go? The 2 must go in here because there's now a 6 in the box, so the 2 can't be in the 8 cage, so it must be in here, which is sort of the mirror logic to up here, isn't it? I'm not doing very well here. Okay, well look, so 15 similarly can either be a 6, 9 or a 7, 8. So I'm going to drop those in because I think this is going to help me figure... this out. Because now there's a 6, 8 down here. This cannot be a 6 or an 8. Which means this must be a 6 or an 8. And there's a 6 here. Perfect. There we go. In fact, I should have been able to see that, right? 2 6s acting on this box. It can't contain a 6. So that is indeed an 8 and a 7. which sorts this pair out over here. So that's a 9 and a 7. And that puts a 7 in one of these 3. I wouldn't normally denote 3 cells with pencil marks, but why not? Okay. Now, does this bounce back down on this box and tell me anything? Yes, it does. Right, so we know that there's an 8 here in this column, and we know there's a virtual 8 down here. Don't know which of these 2 cells it is, but the 8 is used in this column. So in this column, there must be an 8 in one of these 3 cells, and obviously you can't put an 8 in an 8 cage, because then the other cell would have to be a 0. So that is an 8, and what that tells me is that these 2 cells add up to 3, and 3 is another useful number because it can only be made of 1 and 2. So if I put 1 and 2 in there, that's great. Now, that's useful because 8 off of 2 cells has to contain either a 1, 2, or a 3. 1 and 2 are now both ruled out, so that is a 3 and a 5. And then to complete the box, I need 7, 9, and 4, I believe. Yes. Okay. Yes, and that 7 is in fact therefore forced by the 7 up in the top, which is nice. So there's a 7 in one of these 2 cells. Okay, great. And then these 3s, so there's 3s here, they gang up on this box, rule those 3s out from there, so that must be a 3, and therefore that must be a 5. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to do the same trick over here. So 5, 9, and 6, 8 are my only options for 14, and I can remove 9 from here. Which means I can remove 5 from there. So that limits it a bit, but I'd like to do better. I can do better. I can do better. This is a 6, 8, 14, which means this cannot be a 6, 8, 14. Because if this was 6 and 8, what would you put in the cell? Couldn't put anything. Excellent. So in fact, this is a 5, 9, and therefore the order is given. So that's a 5, and that's a 9. Sorry, I think my chest infection has slowed my mental faculties down a bit as well, because I am not solving this quickly. But that's okay. You know, we're here for the journey. Okay, well look, this is a similar, so 5 and 2 cells can either be 1, 4, or 2, 3. So I'll just denote that quickly. I know there's a 3 in one of these 2 cells, but I don't know which one it is. So there's an 8 up here. Sorry. This I can't remember when did I determine this was a 6, 8 pair? Gosh, right. There's an 8 in the grid, so I can disambiguate the order of this 6 and 8. So there's a 6 in one of these 3. Well, what do we need to complete this box? This is a 1, 2, 4, and 7, isn't it? And that one can't be a 7. Not very helpful. So this cannot be a 1, 7, or a 3, 5 because of the 7 and the 3 in the box. Excellent. So this is a 2, 6. Yes, and so that forces the 2 down here, which then sorts out the 1, 2 pair we had accompanying the 8 to make the 11 cage. 1, 4, 7, 8, 3, 5, 2, 6. So I'm missing a 9 to complete that column. So that's nice. So now there's 10 here. And it must have a 1 leaving a 7. So that is a 1, 5. No, sorry. Take 1 off. Yeah, leaving a 7. Leaving a 9. So that's 1, 5, 4, isn't it? And there's a 4 given in these 2. Excellent. Okay, so there's a 4. Well, it was the last. It's the last digit in the column. I could have just spotted that, but hey ho. Okay, so we are making progress. Eventually, slowly. I'm sorry about my struggles today. My brain is definitely working. Right, and then this 1, 5 is sorted by the 1 over there. So that's a 1, 5. Why did I say there must be a 3 in one of these two? I think that's a total lie. Oh! Some of you would have seen that instantly from the very start of this puzzle 13 minutes ago. 6 in 3 cells can only be 1, 2, 3. And then that can't be a 3, and that can't be a 2 because of these boxes. Ah, okay, and I'd penciled up 5s in here already, hadn't I? Do I trust that? Do I trust that? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so that's a 5 because you can put a 5 here. Oh, I shouldn't spot that 6. Excuse me, I was trying to cover my mic there, but I don't think I did a very good job. Okay. Right, so the 9 in the box now is up here, which makes this a 9, 4, 13 cage, which makes this a 6, 7, which is also 13. That therefore can't be a 7, so the 7 over here is given, which is nice. Well, if that can't be a 2, that can't be a 3, can it? That can't be 1, 9, or that's a or a 2, 8. Okay, brilliant. Yeah, so this is a 3, 7, 10. So that is no longer a 7. What does that tell me? That tells me... okay, so there's a 3 down here. So that is, in fact, the 3, 7 in that order. Excellent. I must be getting pretty good on 7s. Yeah, okay, so 7 in this box is limited to one of these two, which means it is a 7, 1 pair to make the 8, and there's a 1 over there. So that is a 1 and a 7 in that order. There's a 7 in one of these two, but I cannot disambiguate it because we have got 7s down here. So it's a little X-wing left behind. So 7s are nearly done, which is nice. It's nice to... I notice when I get my first digit sorted out. Right, 9s. We've got our 2 9s in these columns. That forces a 9 into here. Which then sorts out the 4, 9 pair over on the side, which is useful. I got 1 and 3, so that means this is a 2, 6, 8. So what am I missing here? 8 and 5, I believe. Yes. And there's a 5 given there. Brilliant. So that is a 5 and an 8 in that order. Okay, excellent. And then that 8 is given in this box. That is leaving us with, what do I need for this? 2 and 3, I think. Excuse me. 3 and 6 is what I meant to say. No, not 6. What am I doing? 4. Okay, and, right, there's a 4 there. Goodness. Right, I'm a bit slow today. 4 leaves... okay, so this isn't... When did I spot this was a 2, 6, 8? There's a 2 literally right next to it, honestly. Come on. 2 and 6. It's very... I've watched some of these videos back, and it's very frustrating. The amount of stuff I miss is like... Very frustrating. This is a 9 and 4 to complete the row. This, therefore, is a 1, 5, 6, I believe, to complete the top row. Can I do this? So this is an 8. These two, therefore, add up to 5. Yes, obviously that can't be a 9. So that is a 4, and that's a 1. That is a 9, and that leaves us a 5, 6 pair up top. There looks to have been quite a lot of damage done down here. Yes, this 1, 4 in this column has sorted this out. This is a 2, 3, 5 cage. Therefore, this is a 1, a 3, and a 2 in that order. That is a 9 and a 4 down there. That's a 4 and a 1 over here. Wow. Okay, we just did a lot of work. I say we did a lot of work. The pencil marks, taking themselves out of the grid automatically for me, did all the work. Let's be honest. This is a 4 to complete the row. Does that mean I can put my first 4... or my first digit in this mystery box? I think it does, doesn't it? Because where the 4s go, I've got my last 4 in the grid. It's there. So, excellent. I can complete this column with a 6. What do I need here? I think it's a 1 and a 2, and there's a 1 up top. So, excuse me. There's a 2 already in the box, so it's not a 2, it's an 8. I'm sorry. Yeah. Right. Well, what have we got here? I couldn't possibly put an 8 with this 9, could I? For that 14 cage, so the 8 must go here. This, therefore, is 11. This is 5. So this is a 2, 3. In this order, in fact. Wait, where's my what's it? There we go. 3, 2. That 2 and 6 is therefore sorted. And then this is a 5, 6. Yes, in that order there. That has sorted out this 8 cage from way back when. That gives us a 3 in the mystery box, which is the end of my 3s as well, which is nice. And yeah, we're basically on the home straight now, aren't we? So that's a 9, which is my last 9. What do I need here? I need a 2, a 7 and a 5. That can't be a 5. That can't be a 2. Or a 7. Alright, so that must be a 5. There we go. I thought this must disambiguate, surely. Right, that 5, 6 up top is sorted out. Excellent. So this 2, 7 is now sorted out as well. That gives us a 6, 7 down in the bottom. And we need... what do I need? I need a 1, which goes there. I need an 8, which goes here. And then my last digit is a 6, not a 5. What are you doing? Whew! What a beautiful puzzle. That, like, the start of that where it was like all the 1. This is great. There wasn't a 5 in the middle, but that's fine. Yeah, really lovely. Lovely puzzle. Sorry about the coughing. Right, so I'm going to close it there before I cough my guts up any further. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Cheers.